So this painting has been stuck on a shelf for a while. Sometimes I do that if I get stuck and I just put it to one side and come back later. So I'm coming in with black India ink because right now the background is distracting from the figures. Next I'm going to bring out the sculpting media. Recently I've been using this instead of white paint. Here I'm going back to my source material, perfecting the anatomy of this mummy right here. Using India ink for the black and sculpting medium for the white. Coming here on the second figure, adding some white so he pops out from the background. Here I use the sculpting medium to make a rose, and there's a stick embedded in the acrylics already for the stem. At first I put 2 buds and a leaf. Then I decide I didn't want the flower to distract too much from the figures. Also, I liked the symbology of the 2 figures and the 2 flowers. Here I'm just adding some midtones with brown ink. This is me trying to draw, and Vegeta's being bad. I'm like, no, Vegeta, no, Vegeta. And Vegeta's like, nah, I'm just gonna knock over your crap. Look at that smug little face. And I'm getting everything ready, and Goku says, F your crap. And now I'm adding some details with India ink markers. Just trying to get some midtones in with the brown here. Also, I really like how markers give these excellent wide qualities that acrylic paint struggles with. Like really thin and precise lines. It's really kind of hard to get with acrylic. And here I'm adding a bunch of little details to this figure. Just trying to bring the humanity back to it. And now I'm adding that white sculpting medium to the hair, trying to make this figure stand out from the background. And I found the key to this hair looking like hair was the cowlick. Coming in with ink for the fine lines on the other figure. And here I add a bunch of little small dots almost at random. It's my experience that bones and mummies could always do with a lot of dots. Here I add another white layer to the hair with the sculpting medium so that the highlights are as bright as possible. Also adding sculpting medium to add a 3rd dimension to the body. There's actually a lot of sticks and dowel rods embedded in the acrylic paint, which also gives a 3rd dimension. And now it's time for Bubbles to photobomb! Oh, Bubbles, no! Wait, but I'm trying to paint. You're on my painting. Bubbles, no! Look at that little Callie. Here I'm adding graphite, and the marks that I make in graphite will only be seen in certain directions. So someone will see the painting, walk across the room, look at the painting, and see something different. I put gloss media mixed with water on top of all this so that it could seal the graphite, and then add little flecks of graphite with an X-Acto knife. The graphite ends up looking like little crystals on top. A couple days after it dries, I come in with this pink Sharpie, adding just a little bit of color on top to make the figures pop. This painting is not just a single image, but it's a different one from wherever you're standing. And I really like the way the graphite picks up the sunlight and has a odd little glittery effect, but that doesn't take too much away from the figure, and the pink Sharpie on top really makes the figures pop, I think. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Who's your puppy? Who's your puppy? You want to eat the painting? You want to eat the painting? Of course you do. Of course you do. It's made of wood. Oh my God. Who's a good Billy? Who's a silly Billy? Who's a silly Billy? Silly Billy.